Oh my god, guys, the thing that we're going to be talking about today is so infuriating, and I can't, and everyone involved needs to be held accountable. Everybody. There is going to be a lot of people we're talking about in today's video. Everybody has the same responsibility in this, and that's what we're going to talk about. But there's some people that I'm just like, so shocked at. I can't. These LA YouTubers, I can't. The privilege. The ability to not care about what's going on in the world. First of all, what I want to say, the number of cases in America right now is bad. Awful. But in LA, disastrous. Awful. LA are about to enter another lockdown if they haven't already entered it at the time of filming this video. How insane is that? So these LA YouTubers, influencers, everything under the sun, doing this, you have a platform. You're endorsing this behavior. Let's get into it. So everyone, there was a big party last night and some of your favorite YouTubers and influencers were there. First of all, let's watch this video from the host.
So this year I've decided to throw him a crazy, surprise dragon style. And let's just follow the adventure. Are you guys ready? So this year I've decided to throw him a crazy, surprise dragon style. And let's just follow the adventure. Are you guys ready?
Nikita, what the hell? So Nikita was the one who hosted this event. She started this. Nikita, you need to be held accountable. Now, let's talk about other people. This party was for Lorraine's birthday. And I tweeted and said, who were the YouTubers and influencers that were at this party? Now I'm going to reach out some of the responses because people were like, why are you attacking this YouTuber over this YouTuber and this influencer more? They all have the same responsibility in this, but there's some that this is more disappointing than others. James, Tana, the whole Hype House, basically some Sway Boys, Nikita, and loads more, especially some smaller influencers. James Charles, Tony Lopez. It was for Lorraine's birthday party. James Charles, Tana, Charlie and Dixie, the Hype House, Sway Boys, other people's friends, and just a lot of these influencers were at this party. Now this party was cram. And one thing you'll notice is none of these people were wearing masks. Now speaking for LA, you have to be wearing masks. Right now in Derry in Ireland, the place I'm filming this video, our restrictions are completely different. Ours are eased. In public, 1 meter distance. Wearing masks is encouraged when you go into shops. You can now go into cafes with your friends. You can meet up with 6 people. I think even bubbles of maybe 10 people, don't quote me, because our numbers aren't that bad. But in LA, you're about to enter another lockdown, and this is what you're doing, going to parties. Y'all don't live together. And not only were these influencers going to the party, they were posting about it on their social medias. Do they not realize that they have an impressionable audience? You going out to parties makes your audience here viewing it think one of two things. One, oh, I miss going out and partying, I'm gonna go do that. And two, oh, they're doing it, so it must be okay again. Because a lot of people idolize these YouTubers and influencers and they go by whatever they do. So this was posted to Tana Mongeau's Instagram story and is still up even after all the backlash. Do y'all see what she just did? Tana Mongeau, along with not following the guidelines of LA, wiped her hand on his forehead to get his sweat, then shook his hand. Now that's now on you, Tana, now bodily fluids. You know, because it's so funny for you to be doing this. And not only just doing that, also recording it and posting it to your Instagram. Now your Instagram that has 5.4 million followers. Your audience are going to think this is okay. Your audience are going to think that we are back to normal, Tana. Then we got to get to James Charles, because in my opinion, James Charles gets away with a lot of stuff now. I've defended him a lot on my channel, but let's be honest, after the drama that happened last year, a lot of people just let him off the hook for a lot of things now. Come on. So first of all, I tweeted, I said, opinions on Tana and other dumbass influencers continuing to A, party in the midst of a world pandemic, and B, promote it to their social medias to their impressionable audience. What's your opinion? And I said, sorry for sounding biased, I don't give a shit anymore, because this is so ridiculous. This is honestly ridiculous, and I'm so happy that everyone is outraged by this. You know why? Because we should be. This is not okay. Here's some of the responses. Frankenfurter said, they're all effing idiots. Miss Runa is still here and she's not going away anytime soon because of people that act like this. The Chosen One said, it's disgusting. No remorse for anyone who can catch it. Just because you're not experiencing symptoms, that doesn't make you in the clear. And that's the thing as well. You can be asymptomatic. These people may have the virus. And you know what? They're still going to parties because they don't feel it. They are young. They don't feel it. You know what? They may carry it. What is not clicking? What is not clicking? And one thing I want to talk about Tana as well. We did a video on my channel where on the screen we watched her Instagram story where she said it is a main priority of her right now to do a video apologizing for the current situation that she's in with Kaylin and Simply Nessa coming out and saying that she was really microaggressive towards them throughout their years of knowing her. She said that she was prioritizing making multiple apology videos, and you know what? She's been going out partying most days. And then going to this party. Do you think that that is someone who is bothered to give an apology for the stuff she's called out about? No, because she doesn't give a shit. All she cares about is Tana Mongeau. There is no sugarcoating this shit anymore. At all. This is beyond ridiculous. Little Ol Meg said, Tana's just a shitty person. End of. F this B said, it's effing dumb and people like them are the reasons why the numbers are increasing and ruining it all for all of us. And just think about that. We may not get a good 2021 because people like this are still going to parties. Not even following like, oh, you can go to cafes with your friends now. No. Parties. Sweating on each other, touching each other's sweat, shaking hands. Not even wearing masks. And I know for y'all over there, y'all need to be wearing masks. Over here in Ireland, I'm going to talk about our own self. We wear masks. Preferably when going into shops. It was a lot more enforced in the past, our numbers are better now, and we're allowed to go to cafes and restaurants and stuff. You know why? Because for months we did not leave our house. For months we did nothing, we didn't even meet up with anyone outside of our immediate family, and you know what? Our numbers are now showing that. Because we took it seriously. I think America is... Spill said, these morons make it difficult to contain it. We lose more and more people because of these entitled idiots. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. That's so disappointing. Taddy said, we need new influencers, period. I and we have given them enough chances. You know what? That goes for everyone involved, not just Tana. Tana, James, James Charles, talking to you, Nikita, the Lopez brothers, all these TikTokers, Charlie, Dixie, all of y'all. What up with that? Lorraine, it was your party. Nikita, though, you were the one who threw it. I'm sure you did the party invitations. You invited everyone. You also invited a lot of people. Marissa said, it's so dangerous that they're partying in the first place. Not only for themselves and everyone around them, but also dangerous to spread it to their audience who looks up to them, especially if they have younger fans. Yeah, and that mental process of making your fans believe that you're partying so it's okay? Nah. Danny said, this is so irresponsible, but I don't have to tell you that. They're literally spreading it. People are just partying now with Jake Paul, etc. Jake Paul doesn't give a shit either. They're all stupid AF. Freya said, I think it's so stupid. These people are what children look up to. Honestly, fix yourself. Batty B said, the worst part about this is that a lot of these influencers are posting stories about why we should be wearing masks and also social distancing, while doing the complete opposite. And the thing is, they're not even doing this secretly. I'll get to James Charles in a second. They don't care. They're literally posting about this in their Instagram stories. Sometimes, I'm gonna be really honest, I see all of them partying and I think, wow, their numbers must actually be doing okay if they're going out and partying. Then I realize that they're not allowed to be doing this, yet they're doing it. 2021's gonna be fucked too, let's be real. Jazz said they know that they have a young audience. They're influencers. So they should be wary of posting this. Who the F do they think they are? to be braver than a pandemic. Absolute clownery. Moreri said one word. Irresponsible. Kelly said, it's so ridiculous. They somehow have a mostly following of a younger audience, so this is just going to influence them to be careless with the pandemic too. It's not okay. I swear it's natural selection at its finest. Chloe said, irresponsible, but are we surprised that they don't care? No, not at all. Sam said, Tana, Jake Paul, and others who have been partying through quarantine are narcissists who don't give a shit about anyone but themselves. They want to have a good time, so why would they care? Then they'll get it and have a whole pity party on social media. Melissa said, Tana says, I love to party, but doesn't love to address Kaylin or Nessa. I have to laugh. These people don't change. They may do apologies, they may do Instagram stories crying. You know what? They don't change. I think we're all starting to see that. And they don't care to change. They don't hide the fact that they're bad influences. Anyone else seeing an issue here? Mariah, are you seeing a fucking issue? Look at her. She's looking away from me. She doesn't know what to say. It's okay. She won't even give me eye contact. Leah Marie said, it's unbelievably selfish. So many people aren't even allowed to leave the house to be safe. Yet here they are acting like they're immune and won't spread it around. And that's the thing. A lot of these YouTubers are going to these parties, then filming collabs. How are y'all filming collabs during a world pandemic? I'm speaking to the Americans here. Your numbers are awful. Awful. See, over here in Ireland, we didn't leave our house for a couple months. And you know what? Our numbers are better now. Y'all haven't even done that. So how are you going to go to parties, then film collabs for YouTube videos? That goes to all of y'all. Vanyada said, Tana Mongeau, it's pretty cringe when you see Black Lives Matter as her Twitter handle when clearly, in her world, only Tana Mongeau's life matters and no one else's. And I think we're really starting to see that. Nicole said she really thought she did something with this post. She's literally trying to kill the world. Martina said, absolutely disgusting. At this point, it's natural selection. Also, this is what happens when stupid people become famous. T-Sesh said they literally have no empathy for people who could literally die if they come into contact with it. And also, I thought California was on lockdown after Jake's party. Yes. This is insane. Audrey said this entire video just reeks of privileged influencers without a clue of how they could be hurting. Then I tweeted and said, okay, but we gotta keep the same energy for James too as we do for Tana. I 100% agree with that. And some people responded. Save Me Frank said, I swear these influencers think they're immune to COVID. Lena said, let's not forget about Nikita. She was the one who made the party for Lorraine. And you know what? James Charles, Tana Mongeau, and all these other influencers chose to show up. They're all responsible here. The Gecko said, and Lorraine because he's the host. Chloe Lou said, oh definitely, about me saying that James is also responsible. They all are. Manda said, yup, I only see people calling Tana out when it was Nikita who threw the party and others were at the party too, like James. Yeah. Why aren't we talking about the others? Then I tweeted and said, if you can't even take it upon yourself to not throw a birthday party with so many people involved during a world crisis and pandemic, that speaks volumes about you. It also speaks volumes if you have a platform and choose to go, but also encourage it onto your Instagram story. And from that, let's talk about James Charles. James posted this on his Instagram story. Now if you look, you see a bunch of people in the background. This is him at the party. Now this is a little bit less obvious than Tana's post, but it's clear to see. And then you go to the next one. It's a picture of him, okay? Seems like it's going better. Next one, him at the party. I love this social distancing that is enforced in America right now. Next. Wow. Again. I think the thing that's just really frustrating about it is I look at these Americans who are taking this so seriously and they have to deal with the repercussions of the numbers continuing to rise because of people like this. I've said it so many times in this video. Literally, from the end of February until around recently, no one in Derry of Ireland left their house. Home deliveries, everything. No one left their house, including me, because it was the norm. It's what we should have been doing. Everyone took it seriously, and you know what? Now we can go out to cafes with our friends and stuff. And we can reap the benefits of that now, where these Americans never took it seriously in the first place, and now, in the midst of possibly a second wave, they're out doing this. If you're asymptomatic, you can still pass it along. James, why did you put this on your story? My full thing that I'm really annoyed at James is that he has 19.5 million followers on Instagram. James, you have a young following. They're gonna think this is okay. It's not. The other influencers who went have millions upon millions of followers too. They're at fault. But James, we all expected better of you. And I don't know if that's on us. We didn't expect better of Tana. Not of Nikita. Not of these TikTokers. But James, not good. Not good at all. Miam said, yeah, we should hold everyone at the party accountable. And you know what? Yes. Everyone who went, everyone who organized this, y'all did a bad thing. And the people with millions upon millions of followers who are posting this online, what's wrong with you? That's why people are so upset with James right now. You're at the top of the top. And you're encouraging this. Posting a picture is encouraging it. James, dog, we are defending you so much recently. Why did you have to go and fuck it up?
I also want to pose the question. If Shane Dawson or Jeffree Star went to a party like this, everyone would be up in flames. Everyone would be so angry. So why are we excusing some of these influencers? Nah.
No Name said, my question is just why? Staying home can be hard, but for our own safety, we must. These people live in big houses and refuse to stay inside them. Yeah, James, didn't you just move into a new house? A lot of us live in a lot of smaller houses. And yet we're able to stay inside and entertain ourselves. And that goes for all of them as well. If they want a party, maybe do a virtual one. And wait for all this pandemic to be over. James is setting a bad example, and so are the others at this party. Yes. Abir said, why does it seem like these LA YouTubers and influencers think they are above the law and above every other human? They use COVID in their apology videos to take away from their mistakes, but in reality, they couldn't care less about the pandemic. These people are exploiting the pandemic to their advantage when they need to manipulate their audiences but party every other day. Lulin said, James is stupid for this. He needs to keep himself and others safe. He needs to set an example for his 20 million fans. Living Like Larry said, considering Cali is one of the places that has the most corona cases in the US, you would think he would be smart enough to stay home, let alone wear a mask and social distance. And from those pictures, he is doing none of those things. And none of them are. Potato Cake said James was doing so well. He was doing so well. Everyone was praising him for being mature, and after all that, he does this. Lank has said, I'm really not sure what's happening, but if there was a party during a pandemic, then everyone who was there is guilty, including people who are preparing the whole thing. Nikita, Lorray, everyone. Are people that dumb that they have to meet up with everyone instead of just staying at home? My nursing student ass is crying right now. DJ said, I don't think anyone is surprised, but it's still disappointing. None of them even wore masks because they're all rich and can pay for their own medical bills. So who cares about putting others in danger, right? What's Tasty said, stupid AF. He should set an example to his young, impressionable audience, and even if he weren't famous, he should completely avoid partying. And finally, Sharon Ella said James and these so-called influencers should really practice what they preach. Now again, there are literally hundreds of others. Everyone is so opinionated about this. Sorry, I can't read them all out. I just want to say my own opinions. Everyone who was in the planning of this needs to be held accountable. Guests held accountable. And anyone who promoted this by even just putting up a video of them partying on their story. That's promoting it to your impressionable audience. The reason people are coming for James is because they're disappointed and he has the highest number. This could have been so easily avoided. How about delaying the party even like 2 months? Maybe cases will be better then. Is partying really that big of a deal? I can't. Tana, also, address Kaylin and Nessa like you said you were gonna do, instead of going out and partying every day. At this stage, whenever you do an apology video, no one's gonna listen to you. No one will give a shit, because we know you're not genuine. Everyone, tell me what your opinion is on this. Oh Lord. I already know this video is long because this is just so messy. So everyone from Nikita to Lorray to James to the Lopez brother to the TikTokers to Charlie to Dixie to everyone who was involved in this. Tell your audience that this is not okay. Partying during a world pandemic is not okay. Again, everyone, tell me what your opinion is. I will see you in my next video, and bye.